This is Coach E Kong, and this is New Vision for Your Nutrition, my unfiltered perspective, tips, and advice on health. So let's get right into it. Today's episode is called What's Your Punishment? We'll start off with the story. As most of you guys know, my first job is actually not training. I actually have a regular 9 to 5. It's in a call center environment. This particular example deals with a customer I was dealing with or speaking to in regards to a financial issue. Basically, what the customer was saying to me, as far as representing the company I do, is the customer felt like the company, again, I represent, felt like they were in the wrong. He submitted a payment to the company, and ultimately, he felt like he did everything on his part to make sure the payment got to us. Well, the payment never got to us. And so he was basically irate, and he was saying that he did everything right. And not only do we need to go and locate the payment, but he listed off the things that he believes he's owed based on the fact that, again, he was not in the wrong. He did nothing wrong. Now, keep in mind, he used his own bank, his own information to submit it. And there's sometimes things that go wrong when you do so, but he was basically in a position where he not only listed off the adjustments, the credits, the free accessories that he should receive, but also even an apology. And this is very common, I think, where it comes to how we treat other people as far as accountability. Now, just to kind of give a closure on the story, customer ended up actually making the mistake of the error, and I was actually on the phone with him at the time. He kind of saw that he overlooked one of the main details when he was processing the payment. What I was almost inclined to do at the time was pretty much ask him, okay, well, now that we understand that you actually made the mistake, what then are we owed? What do you feel like you should now provide us because you made the mistake? Of course, I didn't say that, but I believe it's a great topic to bring us into what we're talking about. And that's basically, what's your punishment? On your day to day, I believe that there's opportunities, whether it be ordering food, whether it be just going out, anything we do, a lot of the things we do, we hold other people who are of service to us at a very high standard, but we don't necessarily do so when it comes to our own health. I can tell you, client after client, most people that I deal with, they're a lot of times they're in blue collar jobs, white collar jobs, and these jobs are really tough. And so most people I am working out, a lot of them are in leadership positions, and they do not allow for their employees to really get a lot of leeway or flexibility when it comes to the policies and the rules that are in place. But those same clients are not as strong or self-willed in the same area when it comes to what they need to do for themselves. So let's talk about accountability. All right. Where most people look at accountability, I look at it in regards to the barriers that you put outside of yourself, the barriers, the structures that you put in place. What keeps you accountable? I think that's very important, especially with this new year coming. What can you do? What structures can you put in place to keep yourself basically right in line with your goals and your objectives that you set and you put in place? For example, I believe that when you come to accountability, it's almost like an electric fence. All right. So for most, you know, livestock, electric fences were put in place to make sure that they knew that they could actually roam and travel. But when it came to a point where they were outside of the boundaries, they would pretty much get an electric shock, or they would basically get some discomfort in going outside of where they regularly are supposed to be. And this is kind of where I believe that most people, myself included, should look at when it comes time to uh, be able to focus and find basically a wall or a fence to keep you accountable to your decisions, the things that you said that you were going to do. And I believe that you're the only person that keep yourself accountable, but it's not as easy as just saying, well, I'll do it, because a lot of times we'll get relaxed, we'll get unfocused, we'll get distracted, and we'll give ourselves excuses to why we don't necessarily have to do it. So here's three things that I believe will be helpful in allowing you to focus on accountability and the punishment that you should have for yourself, and how to go about getting yourself, like I said, in line and structured. So the first thing is, you want to find an accountability. You want to find a punishment. Okay, a punishment. So you want to find a punishment. Now, by this, I mean that you want to find something that you personally know will create enough, um, enough of a nervousness, enough of something, enough of a fear that it'll actually allow you to really try to stick with it if you're honest with yourself and you're true to yourself. Now, this is first and foremost, you have to be in a position mindset where you're actually going to stick with it. This means you being self-willed and really being honest with yourself. When you actually write down the punishment, it's really about sticking to it. And so the punishment first will be something, for example, if, for instance, you're someone like me and you love sports, okay, a punishment could be something as easy as saying, okay, well, I can't watch sports on this particular day, right? Now, that doesn't mean that you can't maybe record it and watch it later, but it allows you to have to be forced into a position where you're uncomfortable based on a promise that you made to yourself, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is, find a partner. Now, when it comes to accountability, a partner is great. Now, keep in mind what I've seen, especially in the gym environment, is sometimes partners can be unreliable. So you really want to be careful when you choose a person, because the person that you choose may or may not be advantageous to your goals that you're setting. Okay, so if you feel like someone is very consistent, very trustworthy, and someone that you feel like will not allow you to get away with, just not going, you want to really have this person in your corner. But not only that, and I want to be clear when I say this, understand that it's still your goal. Okay, it's nobody else's goal, it's your goal. And so I say that to say, make sure that regardless of the partner you have, you understand that it's about you and what you said you were going to do for you and nobody else, right? So number three, journal. Now, I used to not believe in journaling and writing things down. I'm not like that type of person. I feel like I'm able to remember most of the stuff. But here in like the last couple of years, I believe that journaling has been a big help. Writing down and just seeing things scientifically, it actually shows that most people are very successful when they do so. But not only that, I think that, again, there's just something about writing it and seeing it and having to kind of uh, be living in a place, an educational system where you've done like a lot of writing throughout your life. It kind of brings you to a place where you are very apt to really take it seriously and kind of honor the time you took to write it down, I guess is the best way to say it. And so writing things down is the third and most effective way to help keep yourself in line and keep yourself accountable for the things you do. All right. And so again, what's your punishment? What's your punishment for the new year? What things do you have in place that you have aligned yourself or fenced yourself in with, to where you know that if you don't do what you said you were going to do, you have to do or be punished or accountable or subdued to whatever your decision outside of that is. And so good luck. I hope this was helpful. And again, if you have a 2017 punishment that you believe that you can do for the new year, you say, hey, if I don't lose this amount of weight, if I don't gain this amount of muscle, if I skip the gym, if I don't eat right, this is what I'm going to do. If you have that 2017, you have something in place, you have one punishment. Give me one punishment, put it below, put it in the comments, give me one punishment. And this way, I would love to kind of see where everybody's head's at and the punishment of what you believe you can adhere to if in fact you don't stick with your goal and you lie to you, because it's all about you and what you said you were going to do for you. So this is Coach Econ signing out. If you haven't already, like the page, comment, subscribe, and as always, I thank you guys so much for watching. Coach Econ, I'm out.